What's the ultimate legacy of Spider-Man? Sure, he's saved countless lives, fought iconic villains, and delivered some of the most memorable moments in superhero history. But Spider-Man's real power isn't just web-slinging. It's his ability to teach us about the delicate balance between good and evil. Think about it. Every Spider-Man story isn't just a fight between hero and villain. It's a battle of ideals. What does it mean to be good? Can evil ever justify its actions? And how do we make the right choices when the lines blur? In today's video, we're diving into the moral complexities of Spider-Man's world and how his battles teach us about the choices that define us. There's no better example of this than his dynamic with Venom. Unlike most Spider-Man villains, Venom isn't just an external threat. He's a reflection of Peter Parker's own darkness. Wait, what? Could Spider-Man himself be the source of Venom's evil? That could be true, because Venom begins as an alien symbiote that bonds with Peter, amplifying his strength and his aggression. At first, it seems like a gift, but the black suit quickly becomes a curse, feeding on Peter's anger and pushing him to act out of character. This isn't just a battle of fists, it's a battle for Peter's soul. In our last video on how to make the audience care for the villain, we explored how depth and humanity make antagonists unforgettable. But Venom takes it a step further. He doesn't just challenge Spider-Man physically, he forces Peter to confront the darker side of none other than Peter himself. It's a question Spider-Man wrestles with throughout his journey. When Peter rejects the symbiote, it finds Eddie Brock, someone consumed by jealousy and hatred for Peter. Together, Eddie and the symbiote become Venom, a manifestation of unchecked anger and vengeance. This dynamic is what makes Spider-Man's lessons on good and evil so compelling. Through Venom, Peter learns that morality isn't just about defeating villains, it's about defeating the darkness within. It's time to unpack how Spider-Man's battles with Venom and other villains teach us about the choices that separate heroes from villains. But before getting into it, go ahead and hit that subscribe button and click the bell icon to join us on this journey through the fantastic character development series. So what makes the battle between Spider-Man and Venom a basis for good and evil? It's not just the jaw-dropping fights or Venom's terrifying design, it's the duality. Venom's not just another villain, he's a manifestation of Spider-Man's inner struggles. And in Spider-Man 3, this conflict reaches its peak when Peter dons the black suit. At first, the black suit feels like a power-up. Peter's stronger, faster, and more confident. But here's the catch. The symbiote doesn't just amplify his abilities, it amplifies his flaws. His anger becomes explosive, his ego overshadows his humility, and he begins to lose sight of the principles that define Spider-Man. He sure did, and the brilliance of the symbiote storyline is that it asks a tough question. What happens when power corrupts the hero? Peter's descent into arrogance and aggression isn't caused by Venom, it is Venom. And rejecting the black suit isn't just about defeating an enemy, it's about reclaiming his identity as a hero. Here's where things get fascinating. When the symbiote bonds with Eddie Brock, we see the other side of this moral coin. Eddie's hatred for Peter is fueled by jealousy, insecurity, and failure. He's not inherently evil, but when combined with the symbiote's vengeful nature, his anger spirals into something monstrous. Venom works as a villain because he's not just fighting Spider-Man, he's exposing the hero's vulnerabilities. Peter's battle with Venom isn't just about stopping Eddie. It's about proving that he's more than the darkness that almost consumed him. This story doesn't end with Spider-Man 3. Enter Tom Hardy's Venom. While these movies exist outside the MCU, they offer a fresh take on the character, showcasing the symbiote as an anti-hero. It sounds wild, but the Venom films dive into this idea. Eddie Brock's relationship with the symbiote is a chaotic partnership, one that's equal parts hilarious and terrifying. Unlike Spider-Man, Eddie doesn't reject the symbiote. Instead, he learns to live with it, balancing its destructive tendencies with his own moral compass. This shift adds a fascinating layer to the Venom mythos. By embracing his flaws and working with the symbiote, Eddie becomes a reflection of what Spider-Man could have been if Peter had chosen power over principle. And here's where Spider-Man's lesson shines. While Eddie and Venom walk the line between good and evil, Peter's story reminds us that true heroism isn't about being perfect. It's about making the right choices, even when it's hard. This duality, the clash between light and darkness, choice and consequence, is what makes the dynamic between Spider-Man and Venom so compelling. Through their battles, we see that good and evil aren't always black and white. They're choices, and those choices define who we are. Now, here's the real kicker. Can a villain ever truly walk away from their darker instincts? In the coming section, we'll explore how Spider-Man's lessons on morality resonate far beyond his battles. Spider-Man's story isn't just about heroism. It's about the constant struggle between light and darkness. And if you've ever wondered how to bring that theme into everyday life, the Marvel coffee mug does just that. With heat, it transforms like Spider-Man and Venom, revealing both sides of his personality. It's the perfect companion for your next rewatch, or our upcoming deep dives. Click the link below to bring it home as we wrap up this final section. What is Spider-Man's greatest legacy? It's more than just saving the day or defeating villains. It's about showing us that good and evil aren't absolutes. They're choices we make moment by moment that define who we are. Let's reflect on Spider-Man's clash with Venom. It's not just a fight against an external foe, it's a fight for Peter Parker's identity. When Peter rejects the black suit, he rejects the allure of power without responsibility. And when he faces Venom, he's confronting the darker version of himself. That's the ultimate lesson. Heroism isn't about being flawless. It's about striving to do what's right, even when it's hard. Spider-Man's flaws, his anger, his guilt, his self-doubt, don't make him less of a hero. They make him human. And by facing those flaws head-on, Peter shows us that good and evil are choices, not traits.
Because you know what? No matter how many times I get hit, I always get back up.
And what about Venom? In Tom Hardy's portrayal, we see a different kind of journey. Eddie Brock doesn't try to erase the symbiote's darker instincts. He learns to channel them. It's messy, it's chaotic, but it works. This dynamic forces us to consider a question. Can someone walk the line between good and evil and still be redeemable? Spider-Man and Venom represent two sides of the same coin. Peter's unwavering commitment to responsibility and Eddie's struggle to balance his flaws show us that the battle between good and evil isn't about perfection, it's about persistence. Being a hero, or even being good, is more than just a one-time decision. It's a series of choices, made in the face of temptation, doubt, and fear. And that's the beauty of Spider-Man's world. His story doesn't just entertain us, it challenges us. It asks us to look inward, to confront our own flaws, and to strive for something better.
Remember, with great power comes great responsibility.
As we reach the 8th episode in this series, one thing is clear. Spider-Man's lessons on good and evil are timeless. Through his battles with Venom, Green Goblin, Doc Ock, and more, Peter Parker teaches us that being a hero isn't about never failing, it's about never giving up. And that's why Spider-Man stands out. Not just as a superhero, but as a symbol of hope, resilience, and the power of choice. Moving forward, make sure to check out this complete series by clicking here. From crafting villains to understanding their humanity, it's been an incredible journey. Here, you'll find out the role of Spider-Man in character development. Because every tale, like every hero, deserves a backstory that solidifies and justifies his decisions. Keep swinging with us, and remember, the greatest stories don't just entertain, they inspire.